Joking.
People click off of it.
Yeah, joking.
We have like 2-second views.
Oh man,
Yeah, that would be so funny.
Listen, guys, thanks for tuning in to Higher Density Living again.
That was you speaking in tongues. That's what they call. Have you ever seen people speak in tongues? It's like,
Satan. Yeah, well,
Assalamu alaikum. No, it's not Assalamu alaikum.
That's
it's like
Arabic.
Arabic, yeah. I don't know. It's something like that. Yeah, who knows?
It's funny.
Maybe, that would be funny if you went to like a Pentecostal church and you go in there and they're speaking in tongues. It's just Arabic.
Yeah, it's just it's like I thought this was supposed to be Latin Vulgate.
It's so funny. I like to watch those. I like Instagram's amazing. So they take, and I'm not being offensive, in anybody's religion, but it's so funny because they have to wear like no makeup, the women do, and they have to wear dresses and long sleeves, and the men do too when they go to church. And so these Pentecostal people, but they can fucking go to town on music.
Really?
Like they just fucking electric guitars and drums,
really
and they're just dancing like fucking crazy.
I gotta
show you this. But so what people do is they take the videos of them just going crazy, getting slain in the Holy Spirit. So they're like, they're doing all this. It's like, and then what they do is there's people that take and put heavy metal songs. so they're like getting slain in the Spirit, and then it's like, it's so great, bro. I gotta show you this.
Dude,
it's so awesome.
That is awesome.
Great. I love stuff like that.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it's the same as if it's
Pentecostal death metal.
They would probably not be fine. They would probably be fine with that because their church is like rock, bro. I got to show you. And then the pastors are so cool. They have like they get into. I listen to all this stuff. They get into the. And God had told me that you are a sinner. But they talk like that, and they get like moving around.
Oh, you got to show me.
It's like it's cool.
You got to show me after.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay,
jacked up.
Speaking of
what?
Somebody cool.
Oh yeah.
Somebody super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So this dude is like, for me, do you think he was like Jesus, like fourth dimension being, or he's just like a super wise third density guy?
For Steiner?
Yeah. He died early. Like Jesus died early. All these guys die early that have like lots of wisdom. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Buddha, all of them.
Yeah.
He's a wanderer.
I don't know what he would be.
Yeah.
Definitely a wanderer.
But he's got some amazing stuff. Rudolf Steiner view on universal order and purpose.
Universal order
and purpose. They're deeply rooted in his spiritual philosophy known as Anthroposophy. Steiner believed, here we go, you ready? Mm-hmm. That the universe is a manifestation of a spiritual reality governed by higher principles and beings. So we're going to get into this beings.
Oh, wow.
What do you think of when you hear the words universe is a manifestation of a spiritual reality?
Spirit is...
But creation manifests.
No, I know. That's what I'm getting at. Spirit, spirit is
thunder.
I know, it's great. Spirit's a piece of creation.
Right.
Okay. Now, as a power source collects itself, it can form things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, the energy of creation, we have all these little pieces of it inside of us. But we know that like things beget like things. Mm-hmm. So this higher fine fluidal energy of the spirit, it's not material, amasses itself together with great concentration. And then, just like that, in a blink of an eye, some material thing exists. It shows up. Our universe exists because this really fine energy interweaves within itself to allow elements, space, humans to be there, all of this raw material. So this vibration of an energy, it compacts itself. And so Rudolph's right. And we're seeing this compaction at deep levels as, quantum mechanics, which has been around since the late 30s, as we begin to explore it more with these accelerators, the levels keep going down and they get more fine. But this fineness allows very material things like this paper or you and I to be there. The structure of this universe in front of us comes out of this energy that sits there. And this energy of the spirit, which we're getting closer and closer and closer to in terms of trying to measure it, We can see that what Rudolf Steiner is talking about as this universal order, we see it at the low levels. Science is noticing this now. And the problem for scientists is that physics, because of the studies that are occurring, are pushing them into the study of the spirit. Because something at that level is very difficult to be quantified in the material sense. So now they're moving into very metaphysical things for quantification. You track?
Yes. No, that makes sense.
They're starting to see that universal order is not a physical thing. It comes from this condensation of this energy that's non-physical.
Yeah, that's a good word. Condensation.
Steiner's on it.
Yeah. And this was a long time ago in the 1920s. So in his universal order, he talks about cosmic evolution. According to Steiner, the universe undergoes a continuous process of evolution.
Yeah.
This evolution is not only physical, but also spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Humanity plays a central role in this cosmic evolution, which each individual's spiritual development contributing to the whole.
Right. So the reason Steiner can make this remark, the energy of the spirit, which we talked about in terms of universal order, that would have to reside in all of us, correct? Mm-hmm. Great. So in order for this order to keep order and to evolve, that energy has to come back and come through us so that we evolve within this cosmos itself to bring that energy back to creation. Mm-hmm. So in what he is saying is that energy that pervades everywhere because of this great creational energy and because it's inside of us, if we're evolving and we have that energy, that means the creation itself must also have to evolve.
Yeah.
Fantastic reasoning.
No, that makes sense.
It's very, very balanced.
Yes. Yeah, and then one of the things I think that is really important with this is the two distinctions of evolution is that there's a physical evolution, there's a spiritual evolution.
What did we talk about?
And we just talked about the physical everybody focuses on.
This guy's on it.
But the spiritual evolution people don't, the two paths. I think he also says that with universal order, there's a lawfulness and order. Steiner believed that the universe operates according to spiritual laws and order.
Okay, so let's make this really simple. Say you didn't define the laws. Mm-hmm. Say nothing had that definition. Some sort of law, or plural, the plurality of them, has to exist. It has to be there. Even if we can't define it, it must be there because we exist. Do you track?
Yes.
If a law didn't exist, things would fall apart or they wouldn't be able to start even in the first place without a law occurring. Now, if we go back to his idea of energy, right, in this universal order, that must, in that sense of the spirit, that spirit must share laws, which we in the physical also share. They're not.
Well, that's the law of one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not separate.
Right.
So if we have laws here that allow Jason and Alexander to sit here, the other part of us, the spirit or our energy, also has laws. Otherwise, that energy would dissipate and disappear. It wouldn't exist. It'd fold in on itself. It'd be a total illogical mess. So we have to have perfectly reasoned, logical laws. Even if they're not defined, they have to be out there. And that's for us to discover.
I like that.
That's that universal order.
Yes. He also says, according to this, lawfulness and order, he says, these laws are as precise and immutable as physical laws, but pertain to moral and spiritual dimensions.
Yes, of course.
They govern the processes of karma, reincarnation, and spiritual development.
Yeah, so in his eyes, and he's very astute on this.
What do you think of the words precise and immutable?
When I think of it?
I mean, in the context of what he's saying here.
Truth?
With the law, yeah.
I consider that truth.
I like immutable. That's like...
Well, it can't...
the law of one is immutable.
If it changes, it is not a law.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple. Laws are things that persist everywhere, through everything, for all time.
It's so funny because people will say, okay, God, and then he's bound by this law. You have it reversed. I mean, when you want to say gods or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the law is the law of one. There's nothing higher than the law. If you want to have hierarchy, we're also caught up on hierarchy. If you want to have hierarchy, the law of one is it. It's immutable, yeah.
You can't change it.
Yeah.
They exist and pervade everywhere. Laws are timeless because they're truthful. And they're perfected in such a sense that allow you and I to exist considering, all right, you know, everyone says our world is like a computer program simulation.
Yeah.
Well, if that has a law, it's perfect. There's zero error in the law's code. You track? You seen this?
Yeah.
If there was but one small, at the tiniest level, one error, the whole program would fall apart. It would crash because there's such a great infinite variation of people interacting with that law that things would fall apart.
Yeah.
You following me here?
Yeah, but the law of one is so set up that it is perfect.
Yeah.
When you have the definition of what the law of one is.
It's timeless.
Yeah,
it's immutable.
Yeah.
It's precise.
When you look at oneness, it's perfect in and of itself.
Yeah. What are you going to... You're all right, check this out. We have our Big Bang, right? Are you outside of the Big Bang?
No.
You're inside of it, just like everything else. We're all in this one fucking thing that you're not outside of.
Well, I mean, in this universe, we're carbon-based, and everything is carbon-based.
Yeah.
So we're one. I mean, like you can just... The processes are so simple.
Yeah, you're farting out stardust. I am too.
Yeah, we're all
same. It's the same. It's the same thing.
So here's one that gets kind of woo-woo, which I think is fun, and
Okay.
I'm going to kind of go into the spiritual hierarchies a little bit. So Steiner taught, whether right or wrong, but we always this is weird, like Billy Meyer, Law of One. I look at new channel type people, Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, like all these channelers all have some type of structured hierarchical manner. We're different levels of spiritual beings. And so this is what Steiner taught. Spiritual beings influence and guide the evolution of the cosmos and humanity. These beings ranges from angels to higher spiritual entities. Okay. And he uses angels as like a symbol, and I'll get into that. But
the way you describe it as a hierarchy, I look at it more of cake layers, but the cake is one single sheet.
Now you have my attention.
So for us I know you love cake. So for us to perceive it, we see it as hierarchy, right? You have things that are really evolved and things that are less evolved. But they still all reside in the same area. It's dimensions that are interlaid within themselves.
Yes.
Okay?
Can I give it like a little hack on cakes just real fast?
Yeah.
Always grab two pieces and put the one piece on top of the other, and then you have a layered cake. And you get two pieces of cake. And it looks cooler because it's a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Like take one piece, just put another piece on top.
You're sick fuck.
And then eat that. It's
oneness. You just showed me something. You know what I just realized? Do you know when
you will do the same now.
Do you know when you cut a cake in like the triangle?
Yeah. You can put the two triangles
No,
on top
but if
of
I
each
took
other.
the two wedges, it's just it's a rectangle.
Then you can put four.
But it's stable.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
I have twice the amount of layers.
You can easily eat two pieces of cake, right?
Without even breathing.
Oh, yeah, I can too.
I'm like, gone.
I don't like one piece.
I literally look at a cake and it disappears. Yeah. Cheesecake? Gone.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Cheese what? That's what I said.
Do you like Whole Foods cheesecake?
Oh, yeah.
Have you had it?
Yeah. Strawberry cheese what?
Oh,
gone.
Dude, you know what's crazy is I had like a strawberry and vanilla cake with a little dash of maple put into it.
Ooh.
I mean, you could barely taste the maple, but it kind of gave it like this cool, like almost like donut-y taste kind of. You know?
Oh, wow.
But I'm telling you, bro, strawberry frosting?
And it's bomb.
Strawberry frosting is
so
made out of real strawberries.
Dude, I'm like, you and I are like dessert vacuums.
Oh, yeah. I love dessert. This is my problem.
You know?
I'm a fat kid. So he outlines them. This is kind of fun. You know, whether we agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. But he has like these higher spiritual hierarchies. So his first hierarchy is seraphim, cherubim, and thrones. Second hierarchy is dominions, mights, and powers.
Okay.
His third hierarchy is principalities, archangels, and angels. So these beings are understood to have different roles in the creation and maintenance of the universe, with the hierarchies possessing greater consciousness and power.
All right, so like a company, you got the dudes at the top, you got middle management. And
like I'm saying, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but Steiner did describe stages of development for humanity, which he believed mirrored the evolution of the cosmos. And these include, so his first stage for humanity was Old Saturn, and it was a mineral stage of consciousness, is what he called it. Then the next stage was Old Sun, a plant-like stage with the development of etheric bodies. A third stage, which was Old Moon, an animal-like stage with the development of astral bodies. So we went from ethereal bodies to astral bodies.
Okay.
Earth is the fourth stage, the current stage with the development of the I or the ego consciousness. our future one will be future Jupiter, Venus, and Vulcan, which is funny. He used the word Vulcan before it was even in Star Trek. So he came up with Vulcans. Future stages of spiritual development for humanity. He didn't outline the stages for all spiritual beings. He kind of had this broader cosmology. But it's kind of what he was trying to show is this continual process of development and evolution.
Okay.
Like he would tell people in the 1920s, he'd be like, you're an angel in training. Like, if we look at Raw's teachings, they don't call it angels, but we're going to be at we're in training to be at fifth density or whatever.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the word angels now? You and I have been talking.
It's kind of like I like the whole archangel angel thing, and there's a ton of spiritual. We're going to piss off a lot of people because they do like angel tarot cards.
I know.
Even like people we know do that.
I know.
And each person has an angel attached to them. There's archangel, that you can talk to.
You and I
Saint Michael. I even have a Saint Michael.
Stop dodging the fucking question. You and I have been talking for years.
I think it's mislabeling and a misrepresentation of what it actually is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you want to use the words Jesus or Yeshua or, you're just labeling a fourth density being. An angel's just a fifth density.
Yeah.
It's a fifth density being. But it's not going to be an individual. Fifth density has more collective consciousness. So you may have a group of consciousness that would be guiding you.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. It's not like, oh, I have this angel and he walks or I'm going to pray to, Saint Michael,
Gabriel,
or Gabriel. He's going to help me do this specific thing.
Ezekiel
but then people are like,
no.
oh my God, I almost got in a crash on a freeway, and then this angel came and moved my car over. It's just cause and effect. Like,
do you think the angel gives a shit about your dodge?
Yeah. So the spiritual hierarchy is whatever universal order. Let's get into universal purpose. This is fun. Number one for universal purpose for Rudolf Steiner is human development. The primary purpose of the universe, according to Steiner, is the spiritual development and evolution of humanity. Each individual is on a path of self-improvement and enlightenment, progressing through multiple lifetimes.
Okay, so he's talking about purpose and reincarnation.
But this is important. The universe's primary purpose is for the spiritual development and evolution of humanity.
All right.
So Earth was put here for humanity, not for us to worship Earth.
No, we don't.
I mean, we should take care of it and be good stewards of it.
Yeah.
But do you see there's that?
It's a learning
now
field.
It's like, let's get rid of the humans and everything will be fine.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But yeah, why don't you start?
Yeah.
There's pods you can go into now where you take your life. So I always tell people. And then who gets to pick who
gets to go in that?
To die or not.
Yeah, who lives?
Oh, somebody that lives in China or India that's poor? Well, how they could be an evolved being and be poor.
Yeah, why
does it have to be only like developed countries and rich people?
So dumb. But so check this out. He's saying that these things need to evolve. Right? Now, for him to determine that the purpose of creation is to evolve, he sees that because if the energy of creation sits inside of people and the laws are the same, they're shared, immutable, timeless, all those other great things, precise, perfect, then if we are evolving, that means creation also needs to evolve. So it creates all these cool realms or places for us to reside in to continue that evolution. And what's nice about it is it talks about the somewhat imperfect nature of everything. Even the greatest things in the cosmos or creation, its energy hasn't been perfected. It's always perfecting and re-perfecting itself. Same thing for us. And we have this planet which we're fucking up and not actually perfecting.
Oh, 100%.
Because we are not doing the internal perfection ourselves. We're not finding it.
Yeah, we want to make bigger nukes instead of making food that would perfectly fit our bodies where we'd never have to kill an animal.
Yeah, like awesome.
Yeah, but do you see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like we have that responsibility and we have the spiritual ability in us that's, I think, this technological, all humans at all times have always wanted technology. There's like, it's in us, like spiritually, to evolve. Like, I don't want the iPhone 11, I want the 15.
Yeah.
And I'm using consumerism, that's kind of a basic. But there's like, what's this desire for me to watch a video and see what the new things on the phone are?
Yeah, you're trying to strive and know.
Yes.
But for us right now, you know what our behavior's like? Our behavior's like, I want to know everything, but I have one hand reached out with a torch burning down the Library of Alexandria, but the other one looking to a crowd of people saying that, teach me.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the best way I could describe how we look right now. Burn the knowledge, but look at people and say, teach me. It just doesn't It's it's hypocritical in many respects.
But I like that he has the primary purpose of the universe is for the evolution of humanity. Number 2, integration of spiritual and material. Steiner emphasized the integration of spiritual wisdom into everyday life. He believed that humanity's task, keyword, I like that, task is work, is to bring spiritual insights into the material world, creating harmony between the two realms.
Sure.
I mean, it's kind of what you just said, but you could look at it as kind of holding
but again,
two dimensions.
You take those that you assemble them, right? Mm-hmm. You bring them together. It's the religious process.
It's Legos.
Yeah, it's the
we
Legos.
talked about that last episode.
You know what we'll call them spiritual Legos.
Didn't Legos come from Switzerland?
Did they? Hold on.
They came from over there.
Time, pause. Switzerland Legos.
I got to be like Jamie on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but you do it yourself.
He does it with one hand and really fast.
He does?
Yeah.
He's a one-hander?
He has a weird keyboard. Denmark.
From Denmark.
Lego blocks originated in Billund Denmark workshop of Ole Kirk Christensen, who began making wooden toys in 1932. Right. 2 years later, he named his company Lego after the Danish phrase "let godt." Let godt means to play well.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. So, human integration of spiritual material. How do we create harmony between the two realms?
Here, you ready?
The material world and the spiritual.
I'll tell you right now. Sit down and meditate. That's your first bridge. Bridge number 1 is meditation. Bridge number 2 is recording your dreams. Bridge number 3 is being self-aware of your thoughts. Bridge number 4 is recognizing that people are just a reflection of you. You can do those 4 things.
But I don't think those are in order. I would do all of those in a holistic approach.
Yeah, you don't do one then the next. I'm just giving you
do all those every day.
Yes.
Like for me right now, I'm really working on seeing people as myself, and that's love.
Yeah.
That's what love is seeing somebody not better than me or less than me. Because that's all the ego wants to do. It wants to either show, when you look at a person, your ego wants to say, I'm less than them or I'm more than them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into that. Yeah. So number 3, Anthroposophical Goals. Anthroposophical Goals. Anthroposophy aims to help individuals achieve higher consciousness and understanding of spiritual truth. By doing so, people can fulfill their role in the cosmic plan, contributing to the overall spiritual progress of the universe. And this was funny because he started it, and then he kind of went out of it, and then that Madam Lady Blavatsky or whatever,
with theosophy.
And then they had like like people do when they're building things, they have a falling out.
Yeah,
it's like so weird. Like I know it, but it's just humans. When you're building something,
drama,
people fall out.
Just drama.
It's like rock bands. Yeah. It's like so cool, and then it's like, fuck, he's doing a single on his own.
I know. We need new lead guitarists.
It's like, why did this happen?
Yeah.
Dude, people need to go back and re-listen to Journey and how good they rock. I mean, just like so, his voice was amazing.
That guy's got a great voice.
Oh my God. I was listening to the remastered ones.
You know who else is superb? Boston.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Boston, that guy had pipes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I have a Journey station on Spotify, like a radio station, so it plays Boston a lot because it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Dude, it kicks ass. So, number 4, role of knowledge and wisdom. Steiner saw the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom as central to fulfilling the universe's purpose. This includes understanding the spiritual dimensions of reality. That's a big word. We're going to break that down. Spiritual dimensions of reality, the nature of human existence, and the principles that govern life and the cosmos. So let's start with number 1, spiritual dimensions of reality.
Okay.
What is real?
What is
reality first?
Yeah, what is reality?
It's not what you think it is.
No. Reality is just that energy we're talking about. Can't see it, but we can feel it, right? So now if we talk about the dimensions, think about making the sensation of feeling that energy more potent. Like, ooh, what was that? It was like a little tingle. Ooh, that was a buzz. Ooh, that's a full-blown shock. Oh my God, I think my arm's going to explode off my body because there's so much electricity going through it. You're going through the dimensions of things that can't be seen but are there, that exist and pervade through everything. So the dimensions are dimensions of this concentration of this creational energy. Okay? So your spiritual dimensions would say that in some respects, if I look at a human being that is in a third density phase, the density of energy that they're pulling in sits here. Their electrical current's at like 20 volts. Then the next dimension puts me up at 240, right? And then above that, I'm at 10,000, then 50,000 volts. The charge that moves through it is something we all have in the dimensions. They're all shared characteristically the same.
Yes.
But how much of that energy sits within that dimension defines the power of that spiritual energy. So those are the dimensions of our reality. Because if you look at a human being, there are some people that are incredibly spiritually developed. Now, looking at them, they look like a normal human being, like anybody else. If you dressed two people together, one was highly spiritually developed and the other one wasn't. But the second they open up their mouth, or the second you feel them sharing their love with you, it's going to hit with way more energy than the other individual. Even though they look exactly the same 100%. In our dimension of the physical, the real reality is what they carry that is non-physical in the spiritual dimension. Those are the things that carry through. And if you can start to see that, then you can see the layers. You can start to perceive the sensitivities of people. That's the reality. Our reality is not the stuff that is super tactile like this or rough. It is the things that are as gentle as a rose petal landing on like a still pond. Like you have to be so aware of just those really, really fine things.
I think the awareness comes from like spiritual dimensions of reality. I want to break this like really, really simple. I mean, you can envision this in your head when you're at Thanksgiving, it's cold outside, it's November, you're wearing a flannel, you're at, it's tons of family all around. You're going to eat pumpkin pie, drinking coffee, eating pumpkin pie.
Oh,
but like when family members come you haven't seen in a long time and they come to you and they give you a big hug. And that feeling that you have with each other, that's a spiritual reality.
Yes, it is.
It's the same as if, I was thinking this the other day. It's like a small child just looks at their dad as their dad. They're not saying, my dad sucks.
No.
A small child's not. As they get older, they can kind of see things, But like a small child is not. A small child's like, that's my dad. That's who I love. I'm 100% in on that guy. And that's that child is experiencing the spiritual reality.
It feels the connection between me and dad. Or when it comes to holidays like you're talking about, and by the way, pumpkin cheesecake.
We're on this cheesecake fix.
Dude, oh my God. But my point is here, I don't think it's so much the holiday, but what it really kicks for people when it's really awesome is when we start to focus on the unification of all of us.
The holiday is just a symbol.
Yeah, and when you put the holidays aside, we just get pumped up about coming together. Do you know, it's really rare. You were at my wedding. And what did I say? I said, moments like this when we all come together, all of us, only ever really happen at marriages and funerals.
Yeah.
You remember me saying that?
Yeah, I remember you saying that, but that was before I got drunk.
Yeah, it was before you got drunk. But the point is, we love that unification.
Yes.
The coming together feels fantastic. And we do it in small aspects throughout the year, and we use holidays as excuses, but we need to do it more often because that's the reality. The reality is coming together to feel that oneness, that dimension of the real reality is the love that we can share in that unification.
Yes. And I think that's the principles where he's talking about through human existence that govern life in the cosmos. Because like when you're experiencing that hug with an aunt or an uncle and you can feel that love between both of you, you're like busting into spirit realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because love is the highest vibration. It may only last a second or two or three, or when you get like well up with emotions, for a child.
But that's all it needs.
That's all it needs, or for someone you love, like, are doing excellent at something and conquering it. Like the Olympics are happening, and like it's like getting a gold and being perfect and excellent, and you worked fucking hard
for 100 meters
for years and years
for
do one thing.
Yeah, for 10 seconds.
Yeah, I watched that lady the other day who made no splash.
Yeah, it was a cool dive.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was a really
like,
cool
how do you
dive.
do that? You just see me.
Yeah, you're like
fucking belly flop.
Do you remember Rodney Dangerfield in Back to School?
Yeah.
Or Back to College?
Yeah,
Remember he does the like triple Lindy? Where he's up on the thing and he's got to do the dive.
Yeah, I remember those. What was that Conehead movie with Dan Aykroyd? They made
Coneheads.
No waves.
Dude, it's great.
They could dive easily.
Just perfect. Right into the water.
They were aliens, though, weren't they?
Yeah, the Coneheads were.
I love it.
Aykroyd's hilarious.
So next and last one.
Did you ever see Aykroyd when he was a spy?
Oh, yeah.
GLG.
I watched all. I love.
They're like, what are you? I'm a GLG 20.
Aykroyd reminds me of, there's a new show I'm anxious to watch on HBO with Vince Vaughn. But Aykroyd and Vince Vaughn kind of have the same.
They do have a little bit of the same vibe.
Yeah, kind of the same comedy.
Yeah.
It's like the crazy big guy that died. Both of them were big. Both of them were wild and crazy.
You're talking
Kinnison or Kinnison? And then the other guy they act like the same.
One and Tommy Boy. Yeah. What the hell is his name?
Yeah, well, people will know, but but they're kind of like the same. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely. Like back to the cheesecake.
Yeah. So number 5, community. This is the last one. Community and social renewal. Steiner believed that human society should be organized to reflect spiritual principles.
Oh, cool.
Should be organized to reflect spiritual principles. Imagine a government that way. This includes fostering communities based on mutual respect, spiritual growth, and social justice.
So you're saying we should bring ourselves together, not because policy or government or geography determines so, but the structure of how we build things should be off of these timeless principles of these laws that have never changed.
You can't have unity. You can't have unity. It releases all power.
Right. So the things which are designed to help us evolve because they're laws, which also apply to us and the rest of the universe. But you're saying we have been going out in society and building structures that don't even consider these things, which are there to do the main sole purpose of what we need to do.
Like how would we create having Thanksgiving every day? Minus the food, but
you're right.
That's
how do you do that every day?
How does everyone hug each other and have loving? He talked about it. So he advocated for educational, agricultural, and medical practices that align with these principles, such as he invented the Waldorf education system. He also invented biodynamic farming, which a lot of, organic farmers use biodynamic farming. I like his view of universal order and purpose. I think it's in those times in the 1920s, deeply spiritual and holistic.
He's ahead of his time for sure.
Yeah. And I like these immutable laws, which we've talked about. And I think as a collective, we miss out. When we talk about spiritual, it's always individual.
Yeah, we don't think about.
I like that he had community and social renewal.
Yeah.
In more of a collective
People
way,
like,
not in a cultic way.
This is my spiritual journey. What about the collective of all human beings that have to be here, that have to learn from one another so we can all evolve at the same time? Stop shooting each other.
Yeah, number 1.
That's point number 1. Just stop shooting each other.
Yeah.
It's fine to have guns.
Blowing each other up.
Stop shooting each other.
Yeah.
Stop blowing each other up. Stop nuking things. You know what I mean?
It's so destructive.
It's so destructive. Just take a fucking pause. You know what I mean?
It's so sad.
There's the show the channel Whistling Diesel on YouTube. Guy who does the car test.
He like crashes things. He's a guy. Yeah,
that's my
he
point.
gets men's views. Yeah,
from crashing things. Why are we so hooked on blowing shit up and wrecking things? Why isn't there a channel that's like, look how good these people did at unifying all these things together?
Well, when they do that, like Mr. Beast went and got like blind people to see. And then people are like, that's not his position to do that. What is he playing God? Like, why is he doing that? He went and paid for people's surgeries.
Oh, cool.
Because he's got millions and millions of dollars and he spends all his money because he's like, this is silly. I mean, he's like the number 1 guy on YouTube. And so then he turns around and he builds all these wells in Africa. And they're like, he's, racist because he's going to Africa. It's like, can't people just do good?
Just let them do good. Let them build a fucking well. You and your happy RO water. They have water that's just got every parasite known to man in it. Give them a well.
It's so funny. This is the part the hypocrisy gets me with people, and I'm going to be done with this.
Okay.
I was watching yesterday, and I'm saying this in a good way, not a bad way. I was watching yesterday, like the technical aspects of moving Jeff Bezos' yachts around. Because he has 3 of them. He has like a sailboat, a big sailboat.
I love that you spent time on that. I really do.
So I like strategy. So I want to know this. But here's the interesting thing. These people be like, the comments were like, oh my God, I can't, it's such a waste of money. Why doesn't he help humanity? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. I get all that. But the minute you get an extra $200 on your paycheck.
What do you do?
And I always tell people this. Who gives all the money to the not-for-profits? Rich people do.
Yeah, not you.
99.9% of the money that goes to – now how that money's handled and everything else, we could talk about government, not-for-profits and all that. Sure. That's whatever. But majority of the money, how much have you given to an organization? How much time have you given?
Well, they give it to an organization.
To help.
They give it to Amazon.
Yeah, and Amazon. They're like,
I need my Amazon
he's
package.
Given billions. I mean, his wife or whatever is doing billions of dollars, and Gates is doing billions. Yeah, but it's like spending an extra $200 and going to a fancy restaurant, that's no difference than him spending $2 billion on 3 yachts.
It's just scale.
That's all it is. The energy is the same.
Yeah.
Do you think the universe cares about money?
No.
Paper with dead presidents?
Dumb. Why would it give a shit? People are so twisted up on it. It's going to be a long time, Jason, before we unwind.
I think it's the whole jealousy, socialistic, communistic. You have 2 pigs. I only have 1. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, you got really successful, like here in the United States in the 1500s. You got really successful. You're a fucking witch.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's that shit. People have this thing like scarcity, like
so. It's like,
it's
poorly developed consciousness. That's all it is.
It's like you were born, to be like John Jones, the UFC fighter. He's like genetically like the perfect fighter. He has super long legs, kicks perfectly, has he's like number 1. Everybody says he's number 1. Like the GOAT, for UFC. Yeah. But his body's like made perfectly for that. You take a guy that's 4 feet with short little arms, he may be able to do lots of other things. Like he could be Peter or whatever from Game of Thrones and be a super badass actor.
Exactly.
But he's not going to be a UFC fighter. No. And to put him in, people want to like...
Do you know what it reminds me of?
Be so quick to criticize.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? I got chickens. You know this?
Yeah. They're not pigs, they're chickens.
Check this out. I go to feed them blueberries. They love blueberries.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's a treat.
If I throw some on the ground, a couple of them pick them up. And they already got them in their mouth. If I throw another one on the ground, same exact thing, and another one picks it up, they drop the one they had in their mouth to go see what that other person has.
Yeah.
It's the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
It's such a scarcity mentality, reptilian brain set for them. And people do this constantly. And they're stuck in it. It's always what somebody else has. Yeah. Even though you have everything for you in front of you. Yeah. You have the same exact stuff. He's got 2 billion. You got 200. It's the same shit though. It's all the same.
Well, what's funny to me, I was listening to a lady and she was so right today on the way up here. She's like, the difference is that motherfucker worked super hard and you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't.
I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but
fucking put the time.
And you can work really hard and do, people just think it's hard work. I can go out right now in this back of this building here where Tarl's at here, and I could start digging and working really hard. And I could be like, I dug for 15 hours. Look at this big hole I dug. Where's my money? Just effort that's not with the right energy
effort
and
without
aligned
purpose
with
or
you
direction.
as a spiritual
bang. Yeah,
being.
that's exactly right. I drive that big truck. People stop me and they're like, dude, nice truck. How'd you get it? Well, I bought it.
You know what I always say?
What?
When I had a big truck like that,
yeah,
and people be like, nice truck. I was like, you should see my dick. But that's beside the point. No, but dudes are like, get way out. They get wigged out.
It's like, dude,
they're like,
it's like, dude, you're in a car. I'm in a car. We're both just getting somewhere. How do you think I got it? It wasn't drug money. I worked my ass off.
Yes, 100%.
Towards something I cared about. And this thing is just a consequence to some degree of my hard work. It's not a reflection of all my hard work. It's just a little blip of it.
Yeah.
But people are obsessed with it. What? Because it's shiny and nice and I take care of it? It's because I worked my ass off. And it's a tool. I'm about tool maintenance.
But who cares?
Who fucking cares?
Worry about yourself and the shit that's going on with you and your family.
I actually find it gross when people compliment me in my truck. I find it gross.
Well, it's like somebody trying to be nice too because they appreciate it or whatever. But also, like, I talked to a doctor a while back, and this was funny. This doctor was like a Marxist. It said, I learned to be a Marxist in college, like being proud of it.
Cool.
And I'm like, okay, great, whatever. I don't care what you are. But
Dr. Carl.
And then he started going into, how the rich and the elite need to give up this and give up that and give up their mansions and give up all this stuff. And I'm like, most of the world, I was like, how much do you make? And he's like 400,000 a year or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was like, most of the world would consider you 1% the elite.
Yeah.
But you have a nice house and it's like lives in Washington, D.C. in Georgetown area.
Yeah, you want to give that
You
up?
have a really nice house there. Why don't you start?
Yeah. Why are you telling them? Why don't you be the example?
Because you're the 1%.
Yeah.
Even in the United States, I think it's 1%.
It's still 1%. Yeah.
So it's like you start.
Yeah. What do you?
But it never works that way, does it?
No, it doesn't. Somebody else got to do it. The other person who's got the bigger blueberry.
Self-responsibility, everyone.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to.
Self-responsibility.
Enough said. If you ever see me in my truck, don't compliment me. Just say what's up, and I'll be like, what's up?
Just ask to see his dick.
It's not going to be anything spectacular.
Yeah, I'm an Irish white guy. So
Yeah.
normal.
Come on, please.
Normal.
I think the Greeks thought it was more fashionable to have a smaller penis.
Well, it was like barbarian thing.
Yeah.
Which is silly, but that's kind of racist.
Yeah. Now today people are like, damn.
Yeah, you got a big hog.
Yeah, if you got that.
But
you
we
know.
don't want to. I don't want to get
You're
us
the-
into.
you're
I
the
can
supreme
easily
man.
get us into a penis conversation.
Yeah,
but I
you're
don't
the
wanna do that.
supreme man. You know? Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, it's we've gone Freudian again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to
everybody.
do Pentecostal heavy metal. I got to show you.
Yeah, we got to check that out. Thanks for joining us today on Higher Density Living. Appreciate it. And we'll be back soon.